The only way I see out is to no longer play football. It's taken my joy of this game away.
Colts fans are stunned this morning back about their quarterback, that is Andrew Luck, retiring from the NFL. We're back here live on Daybreak Sunday. Anthony Calhoun along with Charlie Clifford. Of course, we've been going wall-to-wall coverage on Andrew Luck, announcing last night that this is it. He is done as an NFL player, retiring at the age of 29, folks. 7 seasons with your Indianapolis Colts. We're going to bring in a former Colts head coach and Super Bowl winning coach, that is Tony Dungy, who joins us live this morning from New York. And Coach, thank you so much for joining us here on Daybreak. And I know I spoke with you when the news broke last night that Andrew Luck was going to call it quits. Give me your first reaction. How surprised are you about this move regarding Andrew?
Well, AC, I was stunned because I was there at Colts camp last Thursday and talked to Andrew, watched him work out, and he just seemed like he was into it 100 miles an hour, trying to get ready and get back going for the season. So it really was. It caught me by surprise, as I'm sure it did all Colts fans. The only thing I can really equate it to, I remember talking to Barry Sanders when I was coaching the Bucs, and just telling him what a thorn in the side he had been for me. And he said, hey, one of these days you won't see me, so let's just appreciate these times. And the next year he was gone at roughly the same age, about 29 or 30. Yeah.
Coach, I'm here with Charlie Clifford as well, and when you think about the situation, I know last night you and I were talking about the fact that this was really surprising because we were talking about an ankle injury, and and years ago with Peyton dealing with the neck injury, I mean that can affect obviously your daily life, if you will. But this was more than just an ankle injury. From hearing from Andrew Luck, this was emotional as well, correct?
Yeah, listening to him, you can really see it and sense it. And he talked about the joy of playing football and being out there with his teammates and going after an ultimate goal and doing it together. And obviously he loves that part of it. But the injuries and just the overall toll, you can see what that's taken. And when someone says they don't have the joy anymore, you feel for them. And I know what it was like for me trying to figure out when was the right time to step away. And I stepped away a little earlier than a lot of people thought. But for me, it was the right time, and I'm just praying that for Andrew, that God's shown him that this is the right time for him to step away.
Last night was the hardest decision of this young man's life. If Andrew was with us this morning, what would you say to him?
I would say I just hope he's prayed through it and thought through it and contemplated it all. I know what he's going through. And it's something you love. You don't know when the best time is to leave. And I know this. He wanted to be out there leading his teammates. He felt like they had a Super Bowl caliber team, and he certainly wants to be part of that. But he also has to think about his family, his life, where he is. And I know, gosh, when I played for Chuck Noll, he talked about, you have to think about things more than just football. And football is a big part of your life. It can't be your whole life. You have to keep things in perspective. So I would probably just congratulate him and say, hey, thank you for what you've done for Indianapolis. Thank you for what you're going to continue to do. It won't be on the field, but I'm sure he's going to be a big part of the community.
Coach, I talked to Peyton Manning a week ago when you were at training camp along with him that day, and I remember him telling me that he spent some time with Andrew and that he felt pretty confident that Andrew would be ready to go week 1 of the NFL season. I know you spent some time with him as well, and Andrew Luck. If you're Jim,
I felt the same way. I thought the same thing. That hey, if not week 1, it's going to be very shortly there. He's going to deal with this and figure out how to play with this, even if it's a slight injury. He just gave me the impression he wanted to be out there so badly. So this has to be something that has been weighing on his mind. And again, I think somebody who's as dedicated and team-oriented as Andrew, to step away we have to really feel for him.
Coach, if you're Jim Irsay, what is going through his mind right now, and Chris Ballard as well, the situation they are put in now? Here we are just 2 weeks away from the first week of the NFL season.
Well, I think, we can go back to the coaching situation with Frank Reich and Josh McDaniels. And I remember talking to Jim and Chris then and saying, hey, the Lord has great plans, and we can't always see them. I'm sure this was something that they never saw coming, just like they never saw the Josh McDaniels situation coming. But God looks out for you sometimes, and they had some trade offers for Jacoby Brissett. They decided to turn them down, and it looks like now that's going to pay off. And I can tell you from being out there, those players and coaches have confidence in Jacoby. And is he Andrew Luck? No, but they believe in him. So I think they've got the right person in place.
Coach, at 29, we know time's still on Andrew's side. Does your gut tell you that he is actually done? Or what do you think about something down the line, a potential return?
I would be surprised because just the way this whole thing is played out. I don't think this is something that just he said, oh, I'm frustrated with my ankle injury, I'm retiring. There are plenty of ways. He missed a year already, so he knows he could have done that. I know he's talked to Jim and Chris, and if that were the case, if he just said, my ankle doesn't feel right, I want to get it 100%, he knows he would have had time to do that. But to make a statement that I'm retiring, I'm stepping away, it does remind me of Barry Sanders. And when Barry did it, it was like, hey, you're so close to this all-time rushing record, and you've got so much joy that you still bring fans. How can you step away? I don't see that happening. And Barry did. It was time for him, and I think maybe this is time for Andrew, and I don't think we'll see him again.
Coach, before we let you get out of here, we really appreciate you joining us here live on Daybreak Sunday. Put in perspective for the folks just what this means for this football team, losing someone like Andrew Luck, not just on the football field, but what he has done in this community and just, what he has done for the city when it comes to sports. I mean, you get the primetime games because of Andrew Luck, and we can go on about him.
Well, I think you just have to look at the leadership and some of the playoff games that we've won and taking the Colts back from that 2-14 to being in the midst of things and then being part of the community. And, I appreciate that so much. I think he's been a fantastic ambassador for the Colts and for Indianapolis, and we got to celebrate that. I know it's tough now, and we're disappointed because we think we've got a Super Bowl caliber team, but just think back to the joy that he gave us and just how special he was being part of this community. And that part's not going to be over. Just knowing Andrew, that part will continue on.
All right, Tony Dungy, thank you so much, my friend, for joining us live from New York here on Daybreak Sunday. All the best to you and your family, and we will see you out in Kansas City because that Colts KC game is in prime time, so we'll see you there out in KC for that matchup there between the Colts and, of course, Kansas City. Thank you so much, my friend. We'll talk to you soon.